Hi Steve, my name is Anna and I work with Laomi at Destined to Create, and I'm putting a video together for you today to kind of demystify Google and talk about three things that can really improve Google rankings for a business like yours. I always like to check out the website. So if we go to your website, it's a very modern, clean start, and then you have a couple of different options here that your customers can link out to, which is great. Sorry, it's taking a minute to load. There we go. So one of the things that Google really loves is content, and I see that you do have some content here. I typically recommend at least 1,000 words. Of course, you've got different links in here, and all of that will count towards your content. But at the end of the day, when someone is searching on Google, what Google wants to do is provide the user with the most relevant company and the company that has a lot of detail about what they do, how they do it, and all of that. So you've got some really good starts here. And it's pretty easy to navigate. It's pretty straightforward and clean, which is great. Another thing that Google really likes is when a site is mobile optimized. So 70% of searches these days are done on mobile devices such as phones and tablets. So when I go to shrink down your website, the good news is you get a little menu bar here. And if I scroll down, your content doesn't look all squished. I can read all of this, it's legible, so if this were the size of my phone, this is what it would look like. And then, you know, again, if I resize and do something about the size of a tablet, it all looks good. So that's a really great start to have, for sure, because Google definitely rewards you for having a mobile optimized or mobile friendly site. Okay, I went over to Google to do a quick search, just a general search, and we see typically ads at the top, and then what we call the map pack listing, which is 3 businesses that show up in the map pack, and then underneath that is the Google Organics searches. So what's really important to understand is that as consumers, 96% of the time we click on the map pack or the organics searches. So while the ads are here and you can use ads, the real bread and butter is getting your website ranked in the organics listings or on the map pack, because that's just where consumers go to contact companies or learn more about them. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how you can improve your rankings for both of those things. And for the website and the Google organic searches, we already talked about 2 of those things, which were the mobile optimization and the content for your website. It never hurts to give your website a little love and to add a little content. But in terms of the map pack, I expanded the more places here to see if you showed up. I see you here showing up on the physical map pack, which is good, but I have to scroll down pretty far. Let's see, where are you? Okay, there we go. So you do show up, but you have to scroll down pretty far. So most people don't even open up this expanded listing of maps, to be honest. So one of the things that you can do to improve your rankings on the map pack is having your name, address, and phone number show up in different directories across the web. These are what we call citations, and citations are kind of a form of a vote in Google's mind. When other companies or directories reference your business, it's a vote for your business saying, hey, these guys exist, check them out. Okay, so examples of this are actually the Google My Business page is a citation, but also a Bing business page or a Yelp listing, things like that. So the more citations you have, the more votes your business has, and the more likely you are to show up in this map pack here. The one other thing that I wanted to talk about that can help you with the organic search results is doing something called a backlink. Now, backlink is essentially another website that references your website. Okay, so again, it's another form of a vote. And in Google's mind, again, the more votes, the more relevant you look as a business. So an example would be, let's say the local newspaper is publishing an article about an upcoming event, and you're the caterer for the event, and then they link to your website saying, oh, check these guys out, they're catering the event. That is a backlink. So these things happen naturally over time, and Google looks at that as another indication of a good business, a relevant business, a business that's been around and referenced as a business that's worth talking about. So therefore, they like to show that to people in their search results. So overall, you've got a really great start with a pretty clean website that is mobile optimized. Like I said, it never hurts to add more content. That can help with your organic rankings. And the content that you want to add should obviously be relevant, and it should be unique. It shouldn't be copy and pasted from anywhere, because that will get you in trouble with Google. So hopefully that gives a little bit of an understanding of what type of content. And then lastly, the votes that you can get for your website in the form of citations, or name, address, and phone number, and then backlinks. So I hope you found this a little useful, at least to help understand and demystify a bit of how Google works. Thanks!